Okay, still trying to work out the new setup a little bit. But Clash of the Champions. But first, a little bit of the buble. I know I'm like a week behind on that reference, but I figured why not. Nice thing about Clash of Champions is if you predicted or followed any of the shows, almost none of the matches had a lot of, I will say, a lot of suspense as to who's going to win. So we'll go first with the kickoff show. Drew Gulak retained, which makes sense. They are planning potentially on enveloping 205 into the NXT universe, which is fine. You got to fill up another hour. Might as well take the show that nobody watches, even though it's really good wrestling, and put them on a show that lots of people watch already. Makes sense. And AJ Styles on the kickoff show, where he beat Cedric Alexander. Okay. I guess that finishes off their feud, which, okay, now where's AJ go from here? I do think AJ does make his way to Seth Rollins, but we'll find out. Tag belts. Yeah, if you thought that the random makeshift team of Rude Ziggles was going to defeat the random makeshift team of Strowman and Rollins, you were right. Miscommunication, Strowman attacked Rollins, glorious DDT, new tag champs. Okay. For the SmackDown side, I really like watching the New Day and the Revival. Especially when it's Shatter Machine on the outside, Big E's taken out, Shatter Machine on the inside, Xavier's taken out. Corey, why are they pinning him? What's going on? They go, the knee. And put him in a submission, and Xavier fights and taps. I was like, ooh, that's good. I'm like, that's really good. I like that. Maybe I didn't think that we were going to see, Orton win, and then a 6-person, all the titles on the line, winner take all sort of match, but we'll get there. Women's tag division. Not a bad match. Seeing Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss in pseudo-matching gear works. They're a tag team. Took on a very polished tag team of Fire and Desire. Overall, the match was pretty good. The build-up kind of was weak with the whole, I'm really pretty, you're really not. But Cross got the pinfall. Still tag champs. All right. Going from that, we'll keep on going into the women's division. I like how both matches were booked in a very similar fashion, where the babyface comes out like a ball of fire and just begins to waylay the daylights out of the heel. I liked how Charlotte just flat out just destroyed Bayley. And then Bayley exposed a turnbuckle. Face first goes Charlotte. Bayley gets a pinfall and runs. Love, like, that was brilliant booking. Brilliant booking. Then she's like, I beat you. Charlotte said, you never beat me clean. But I was like, that was good. So really solid, really smart booking there. Because that one, the feud's not done. It's not a feud ender. But then seeing, like, oh, look at Becky and Sasha. Similar sort of thing. Becky just dominates Sasha. Sasha gets in there were great technical exchange in this match that I loved, which those two are great for that. Sasha introduces a chair, hits Becky with the chair, can't get the victory from it, and then Becky gets a hold of the chair, waylays the ref by accident. They then beat each other everywhere. I liked the concession stand area where Becky jumped mustard on Sasha's back. They bring that up I put the yellow streak on your back just like you have it, you coward, would be fantastic. But they just whooped the daylights out of each other. Seeing the disarmer in a barricade, seeing the disarmer in a chair, just great stuff. I'm like, that match makes sense in a Hell in a Cell. You have two women, their egos need a cage of that size. Man versus the boss in the cell. Makes sense. Smart booking. You knew it wasn't going to end, so it made sense to do a feud extender. Miz versus Shinsuke. Face Miz is bland. They put him over on Andrade on Smack because they had to make him seem like he was dangerous. They did some nice placement and booking in this. I will say that seeing the Miz hit the skull-crushing finale while Shinsuke is right near the ropes. Then Zayn get involved, and I was like, no. No, you can very easily do the 1, 2 foot on the ropes. Or either could have been 1, 2, Sammy puts the foot on the ropes. There's so much that could have been done there that we didn't need the Sami Zayn like initial run-in part. But Nakamura retained. Okay. I don't know where they go with this for Hell in a Cell, but I'm currently almost looking at Survivor Series is going to be each show versus each show, but between now and then you have Hell in a Cell and a draft. Do you move the U.S. title, AJ, and the OC over to SmackDown? Would it make sense to bring Sami Zayn and Shinsuke over to Raw? Does NXT get to choose people for the draft? I don't know. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura makes sense. That would be a pretty good match for Survivor Series. But they're working their way there a little bit. So for our big titles, Orton, Kofi, I like that it was the clash of two styles. It was Orton with his slow, prodding style, with Kofi trying to get in with his speed and quickness. I liked the way that worked out. I thought that was done very well. So overall, I'm like, the booking of that match was good. Was still very, very weird. It's like RKO. Doesn't matter because he's right near the edge. So all of a sudden, it's fine. Foot on the rope. Keeps on going. Okay. I'm fine with that. Out of nowhere, Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. Pinfall center of the ring. I went, okay. This feud needs Hell in a Cell, though. But then it was smart thinking. Kofi wanted to get revenge with the New Day against the Revival. Kofi has got the big title that Randy wants. Revival have the tag belts and the exact level of revenge for this the New Day wants. If you take that and then also blend in that after Hell in a Cell, you have the draft. Say that tag teams get moved as a team. But the only way to guarantee the show that you're on is to be an individual champion. So if the New Day wins that match, they all stay on SmackDown. They lose that match, they could be split up. Same thing with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. If they're both champions at the end of Hell in a Cell, they stay on the same show. If they're not, they could get split up. It allows you to do a pretty easy kayfabe reality sort of storyline, which could really work pretty easily. So now we'll go with the main event. Strowman versus Rollins. So it's kind of like watching Rollins versus Lesnar. Just beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down, beat down. Oh, I make a mistake. Capitalize, and stomp. No good. Stomp number 2. No good. This one was stomp number 3. Still no good. Okay, pedigree and stomp. I win. I was like, huh. Come on, Fiend. Logo in the bottom corner of the screen. Oh, where's my Fiend at? Lights go out. Crowd pops. Sister Abigail to Rollins. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Mandible Claw to Rollins. Okay, so now the Fiend is going after Seth Rollins for the title at Hell in a Cell. So, follow me on this. Have the Fiend go over and get the title. have Orton and the Revival beat Kofi Kingston and the New Day, because then that sets up at Survivor Series, Fiend versus Orton. The script writes itself beautifully. And if you'll break up the New Day, you can break them up. Keep the tag team on one side, the single champ on the other. And then if they really wanted to, I would almost do a supplemental draft. He's more saying, okay, the person who has, they keep score for Survivor Series. Be like, if your tag champs beat the other team's tag champs, you get to pick a tag team. Same with singles competitors. Do it like that. So that way then the matches make sense and they have stakes to them. Then it's like, okay, well, if the tag champs, the Revival, defeat Ziggler and Rude, then SmackDown gets to pick another tag team. SmackDown could then pick the New Day, bring the New Day back over. And then the New Day is brought back to SmackDown because of the Revival, which would be just a fantastic storyline to work by itself. But who knows what they'll do? All in all, decent pay-per-view or network special. Everything kind of went by the book, with the exception of the women's tag belt match. So, not bad. You can tell that this is a hard part where it's a middle chapter. Either you begin or end at SummerSlam. And then we come out of SummerSlam, it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? We have to kind of do a filler to get our way through these things. And then knowing you have one more big event before you do your brand versus brand, you have a lot of ground you have to either cover very quickly or stretch things out to make it last, to make it make sense and to get to your pay-per-views.